Hi Adam,
Hi.
nice that you have time for an interview right now. Please tell us who you are and what you're doing.
My name's Adam Christodoulou. I'm at the Nürburgring and I'm racing for Pro Sport Performance in the number 72 Porsche. The car's really well, going really well. We had a bit of a problem earlier with the tyre blowout. But no, the team are doing a great job. The drivers are doing a great job, and we're 6th place at the moment. It's looking good.
Great. Please tell us where your passion regarding motorsports comes from.
Well, I was introduced into motorsport about 15 years ago by my dad.
Okay.
And I started off in go-karts. I did that for 10 years, but I did a lot of testing for my first year, and then I did my first race, and then as soon as I did my first race, that was it. It was just non-stop. I won my first trophy, and I just raced every weekend, and
Okay.
I had a successful career in karting. I won 7 British championships, finished 2nd in the world, and then I moved into cars. I moved into cars about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, sorry. Raced in Formula Renault, the same as Lewis Hamilton did, and my dream was to try and make it to Formula 1, but budget was very tough, and I did as well as I could. I won the championship, so I went to America instead. America went extremely well.
America, what did you race
So
there?
in America I raced in the Star Mazda Championship, and I won that championship as well. And then I was picked up by Mazda to race in their factory team in sports cars for 2010. We finished 5th in the championship, but we missed the first race, so if we hadn't missed the race, then we would have finished 2nd. And so no, we had a good year out in America, and then I did some racing for my old team that I did in the Formula Renault, except they have some Ferraris. I did 2 races in this, and then that got me a drive in 2011 in the Le Mans Series.
How old are you again?
I'm 22.
Alright,
So
not too bad.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm keeping myself pretty busy. So last year I did 16 weekends. I raced in the Le Mans Series, the Ferrari Challenge, the Blancpain, Spa 24 hours, Daytona 24 hours, and the Nürburgring 24 hours. So last year was very busy, and this year is starting to look the same. So this year I'm in the McLaren doing the GT Open Championship. Our first race that we're doing is here next weekend in the McLaren, and then I'm also doing the Spa 24 hours and the Barcelona 24 hours.
Wow.
So keeping busy again.
Wow. Can you pick up like one most amazing moment in your career, in your motorsports career?
It's pretty hard to narrow it down to one. I've got 2 that stick in mind. So the first one would be the Formula Renault Championship. The very last round, it was very tense, and I finished the race and I won the championship, and I couldn't speak. I was that excited I couldn't speak.
When was it?
So this was in 2008.
Okay.
And then 2009 in America, it went down to the last round. I went into the last round 2nd in the championship, and there was me and Peter Dempsey that started 1st and 2nd, and it's just a very close race. Anyway, I beat him in the race, and I won the championship, and so it was just a great feeling, and that is what really helped my career, because then Mazda picked me up, and it's got better and better from there.
Okay. When I got you right, your dream is to drive in Formula 1?
Yes, initially my dream was to race in Formula 1 and become world champion in Formula 1, but you have to get lots of sponsorship, and it's very tough out there. And when I won the Formula Renault, it was in the middle of with all the businesses going out of business and just the credit crunch. It was very tough for business to sponsor drivers, and so I went to America because I knew that if you won out there, then you get some prize money and you can continue racing.
Okay, and if you can pick like one team, like one car and one sponsor or some sponsors, like what is like your best fit in your opinion?
Well, if I was to race in Formula 1, I'd want to be with McLaren.
McLaren?
It's always been a team that I've just followed throughout the whole of my career, and even when I was a little boy. I think it'd be McLaren that I'd love to race for. I actually work alongside McLaren at the moment. I do some roadcar stuff, and I also do a lot of their race car testing in the MP4 12C.
And what do you think is missing that you achieve this? What you are planning? Like, is it a matter of time, or is it a matter of winning challenges, or?
I think, unfortunately, it's impossible to make it to Formula 1, so now I concentrate on making my career.
Why impossible? Because you're 22, you achieved a lot?
It's not the age, it's more just the backing, getting the backing, and I've moved to sports cars, and I think now, I think there's a better career.
But they know that you want this, and they know that you are there, right?
Yeah, well, when I raced in Formula Renault, I had a few meetings with some big teams, but of course, it's very tough. There's only 26 places in Formula 1, and there's thousands of drivers wanting to do this.
Right.
I think I can make a better career in sports cars and in Le Mans and with a manufacturer than I can in Formula 1.
You never know.
My chances better. So.
Sure. Here, especially at the fourth race of the Nuremberg 24 hours race, there are beginners, there are pros, and there are big cars, fast cars, and smaller cars. So are there any fears, especially on this race, when you get into contact with like the others?
Well, luckily I've managed to stay out of trouble. We haven't had any contact. All four drivers have done a great job, but sometimes you get really close and your heart starts racing. But the difference between the fast cars and the slow cars is huge, and sometimes out there it's chaos, but it's exciting. It's exciting as well at the same time. The car we're in is roughly it's the second half of the cars that are out there that are faster. So we get to overtake a lot of cars, and then there's a few cars that overtake us as well. Nürburgring's a very tough track, and obviously it's the hardest in the world. The amount of corners, when you first come here, it's hard to remember, and there's a big difference between drivers, and there's a big difference between cars as well. So you go past on the straight, maybe, I don't know, 80 kilometers, 90 kilometers faster than some of the cars, and you feel like a missile.
Yeah, and the other thing is there are humans driving, and you seem to be very conscious, but sometimes you have like to step back and to let it go. You know, like
it's good out there. Everyone's got enough respect for each other, and so they know that there's faster cars coming, that they'll move out of the way, or they'll try and move out of the way, and everyone has quite a bit of respect for each other, because they know it's very tough, and the race is 24 hours, and so there's plenty of time to.
I can follow you, but there are also, like, it's a race, so it's the people who are racing, they want to achieve something.
Exactly.
And even if they are not a pro like you, they maybe think they could do something, and then they do something which maybe in a combination, if a tire blows or whatever, it can happen. But whatever it is, good luck.
It can be quite scary out there. My first stint earlier, at 7 o'clock yesterday, going down the main straight, 265 kilometers, and the front wheel, I had a blowout.
You had a blowout?
Yeah, I had a blowout. And
at what speed?
260 kilometers.
260 a blow?
Yeah. And the steering wheel went like this, and the car started to go one way, and I saw the tyre starting to fall apart.
How did you manage this situation? Like, you
can't
can't do anything. You can do anything with 260 a blown tire.
So I had the blowout, and I just felt it, and it just went, and I just tried to calm it down as much as possible.
Okay. And, nothing happened.
Well, it damaged the radiator, and it ripped the door off, so I had no door.
Okay.
And so.
But it was sunny, right?
Yeah, and it was nice. The air conditioning was really good. So we fixed the radiator, and we went back out, but we didn't have a door, so I did 1 hour with no door.
But you fixed like it was a plastic.
Well, we had the net.
Okay.
But we had no door at all, and so anyway, by the time I finished my 1 hour, then they'd got a new door. They put the stickers on, and we went back out again.
Great. Besides that, you you are active in racing. So did you have like did you finish school or like?
So I finished school when I was 16, and I just went straight to work. I did my training, so I was in Formula Renault, so you have to be fit. So I did all my training, and I worked for my dad back then. Now it's a little bit different.
What did you work for your dad?
He owns a clothing company, so I just helped in the warehouse or if I had to do deliveries. But now I have a connection with McLaren, so I do road car testing for McLaren. So that keeps me very busy, and I also do testing for the race car. For the GT car as well. So I do that as much as I can, and then I try and race in between as well.
Sure. So, and my last question is, like, are you doing any social engagement? Like, do you do something social?
Well, I'm doing some charity work at the moment for a charity called the Joseph Frutte charity.
Joseph Frutte?
Frutte. And so it's to do with children that have brain tumors. So this is new from the start of this year, so I'm going to do some charity stuff for that, and then if I can help anything else, any other charities, then I'll try and do that as well.
And what are you doing exactly when you say...
I'm not too sure. I have to speak to them, I don't know...
But what are you doing for this particular project? Like...
Well, I'm just going to try and help raise some money and just get the charity known so that people know about the charity. So that
do they have a URL, or can you find them somewhere if people are interested?
If you put in Google, I'm sure you can find it. If you put in Joseph Frutte charity, then it should come up on Google.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Du auch nochmal, danke.
Cheers, cameraman.